Alright guys, what's going on? This is Second Blank here, and I'm doing this commentary very quickly because of one of two things. Hold on, let me just move my microphone here, and hopefully there's no weird change in sound. But anyway guys, I'm going to do this commentary very quickly because of one of three reasons. One is because it's really hot in here. It's like the hottest room in my house, and happens to be my room. Fuck you, Mother Nature, okay? Just fuck them, alright? B, I have actually stuff to do, which involves me doing my schoolwork, which I have been very slacking horribly, but hopefully I will catch up today and it won't be too much of a problem. And what's it? I start with letters or numbers? I don't give a fuck anymore. 3, basically playoff games coming up pretty soon. I want to get my stuff done. That way I can just watch them and just kind of relax for the rest of the day. But I'm kind of assuming that there are some things going on with my schoolwork that probably won't get completed. And plus, I'm running this commentary kind of late for you guys, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get right on it. A very funny Valentine's Day story that I want to tell you guys is something that happened between, I think it was between the 5th and 6th grade Valentine's Day. I don't remember what grade it was, but I do remember it was a moment where I guess I first fell in love. Of course, that's being used very loosely. It's more of along of a puppy love crush. And for you guys who do know what I'm talking about, you know the kind of crush where, like, you know, it's very one-sided or it's just like very short-lived. So it was a kind of a crush for me where I'll admit to you guys right now, you know, back in the day, for most of us, our standards for a lot of things are very low, and it's usually made because of the surrounding environment that we are in. So for the example of something that's cool, we always compare it to what's going on in our environment. So that's what's in the home, what's in the school, what's in our neighborhood, and that's pretty much what we gotta do in comparison to what's cool. Now, in comparison to what's basically beauty, you usually compare that to who's in your immediate classroom area. So for my example, whenever I thought of beauty back in the day, I always looked around in my classroom. I looked and to see who is the prettiest girl in the class, and that is automatically deemed as the most beautiful one in the class. And I know all of you have done this before, where you have picked someone in your class and you say, you know what, that is the hottest chick in our class, therefore she is the one that we should go after. All of us have done this. All of us regret doing that, and you'll see why in just a few minutes. But basically, when I was trying to see and try to get myself into the whole relationship kind of thing in the 5th and 6th grade, which is kind of early for most of us, but probably normal for like the majority of young people nowadays. You know, I was trying to look forward to see like who's pretty, and also who is, you know, more, or who's easier to be with. And I know that sounds kind of creepy in a sense, but you gotta remember, you know, back in the day, I was a very shy kid, and you know, there was not a lot of things I could do on my own unless I get pushed by my friends or my family members. So I always try to look for the person which I think I'm more easily relatable to, and who I can talk to easier. And there was this one girl in the class who was a very nice girl, I'll admit. And you know, she was very friendly with everyone. She's very funny, and you know, all this good stuff. And you know, I had a how relatable and how friendly she was. Now, the thing about her was that she was first a follower. So she basically had a group of friends who she always followed every now and then, and always listened to decisions of that group. And the second thing is, because, you know, when it comes to people being followers, there's a whole mentality of them thinking they are kind of, in a sense, ugly. And, you know, back in the day, I didn't think she was ugly. In retrospect, though, I'm not saying she's not pretty, guys. You know, you know, yeah, you can't blame me for thinking this girl is pretty. But here's in the way to describe her. I basically liked this person because she was friendly, but also because no one else was going after her. Because one, she had, you know, in a sense, very poor taste in style. You know, her hair wasn't really all that great, in a sense of, you know, nice flowing long hair. She's more of like a ponytail kind of hair, if you know what I'm talking about. But like the side tail, like the side ponytail, you know what I'm talking about? I think most of you guys know. In a great comparison, think of her as Misty. Yeah, that's the style I'm talking about. And I was like, oh no. And I think because of why I actually liked her, because she looked like Misty in a sense. Now that I think about it, oh god, why? Anyway, so that was one. The second thing was, you know, she would have been pretty. She would have been pretty if only she had good dental work to back up her prettiness, you know. And she did have okay dental work in a sense, but she had braces, and you know, when you see the braces and you see that rocked out Misty style ponytail, side ponytail, it kind of doesn't look all that great. You know what I mean? Especially with her teeth. With, you know, she wasn't jacked teeth basically. There was no jacked teeth. It was just kind of like, I guess, an overbite, and it kind of looked really bad. It wasn't really, you know, outrageously noticeable, but it was very subtle when you kind of see that overbite. And I was like, you know, she may not be the prettiest one, but she was pretty friendly. She's, you know, she's relatable, and she's talkable to everyone, you know. And I talked to her for a while, so I knew somewhat about her, right? So hopefully that gives you a sense of who I'm talking about. Now, this one Valentine's Day, which is the first Valentine's Day I had the crush on her, I basically wanted to try to see if I can get with her, and I thought Valentine's Day was the perfect day to let her notice me more. And what I basically did was, for those of you guys who remember how Valentine's Day was in elementary schools and junior high schools, you basically had to buy like store-bought Valentine's Day cards. They come in a pack of like 40 or so for each box, and they come with, like, you know, for the kids, they'll be coming like in cartoon styles or like movie style Valentine's Day cards, or for the guys, wrestling style Valentine's Day cards, you know, from the WWF back in the day, or WWE, depending on when you were born. But yeah, so basically you always buy them for like one for the boys and one for the girls, right? So they always come in big packs where you can just make out the names of who you're giving it to and who is it from, and then you just give them plus candy, right? So everyone bought the generic style, and they always want to be cool with, you know, the basically like the hipster style of you, like, the only one who gave you this Valentine's Day card. You know, you never want to be the one that gave you the same card, because it kind of looks and feels awkward when you give them the same card that someone else gave them as well. But basically, I did that with most of my classmates, except for my crush. And basically, what I did for my crush was, my mom had a packet of really, really big Valentine's Day cards. And when she had these big packets, and you opened and read some of these were actually pretty good things inside them. And it was kind of like very, very cutesy, very lovey-dovey in a sense. And I read this, I'm like, damn, this is really, really stupid. But thinking from a girl's point of view, she's gonna read this and be like, holy crap, this is great, right? So I basically thinking this is gonna score me some extra style points with her. So basically give her this big Valentine's Day card, and give her like really, really nice chocolates on the side. You know, I begged my mom to buy her some See's Candy chocolates to go along with this Valentine's Day card, and that way I can just give it to her. And for, you know, when I really thought about it, I knew this was going to score me some style points. I knew for sure this was going to score me some style points. But I was hoping that the style points would kind of like resonate, you know, on and on within the year, and not, you know, try to redeem them all at once. And you'll see what I mean in a second. So basically, I did all that, right? And Valentine's Day comes where people will start giving out the Valentine's Day cards and all this good stuff, right? And I did, you know, the same thing everyone else was doing. I was giving out the Valentine's Day cards to everyone else. You know, I give them to my friends, the chick friends, and, you know, all the miscellaneous people I rarely talk to or rarely know, right? And then the very last one I had to give it to was my crush. And I remember how I did it. I basically, during the break on Valentine's Day, I walked up to her when she wasn't with her group of friends. I remember outstretching my hand and handing it to her, while her friends around her was looking at me, looking at her, you know, basically receiving my Valentine's Day card. And they kind of look at the card, and they kind of look at their cards that I gave to them, and they're like, what the fuck is this, right? And I felt very, very embarrassed, because, you know, they know what the fuck's going on. The crush had no idea what the fuck's going on. I guess I kind of blanked out in a sense, because, you know, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, because I was just basically saying, you know, Happy Valentine's Day, kind of outstretching my hand to give her the card and give her the candies, and this is very childish, but I ran away after that. I ran away, ran back to my group of friends, and pretend like nothing fucking happened, right? I didn't say anything cool. I didn't say anything like stupid. I just kind of like went with this awkward outstretch of the hand to give her the card and just ran the fuck away. And that was really stupid in retrospect. I should have said something cool at that time, but I didn't. You know, I didn't know what the fuck she'd think. So I just like, you know, gave her the card and fucking ran, right? And I didn't receive any kind of looks or answer from her later in that day, except for after school, where she kind of confronted me after school. And I was heading towards my friend's house where I usually stay in order for my mom to pick me up at my friend's house. So I was on my way to go to my friend's house, who literally lived right across the street from the school. I had no reason to go there except for maybe to do some homework and play video games, right? But I was on my way to go to my friend's house, and my crush stops me as I was about to cross the street and basically asked me the question and put me on the spotlight to say, you know, you gave me this Valentine's Day card. Do you like me? And I looked at her with a very blank stare. I didn't know what the fuck to say. I was kind of like really caught off track when she said that. And I really didn't know what to really think about it. I really didn't know. I was kind of nervous because I didn't think she was going to tell me anything. I seriously thought like she would have like this notion that I liked her, and maybe later throughout the year I would probably get more courage to go on, talk to her more, and ask her out. But basically she put me right on the spot and asked me the question, did I like her? And I was like nervous as hell. I didn't know what the fuck to say. So I pulled a bitch move and said, you know what? It's just a nice Valentine's Day card. You know, I thought you deserve it. You know, you seem like a really cool girl. I want to be friends with you more. And as soon as I said friends, I knew what the fuck was going to happen. I basically knew that she was going to think of me as her friend. And which she did. She actually did. She said, oh, that's cool. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And gave me like this friendly hug. You know, the friendly hug with the pat on the back and all that good stuff. You know, that kind of hug where you know right then and there you were just put in the friend zone. I felt that hug, and I felt it hurting me and crushing all my hopes and dreams of being with this girl. And I was kind of heartbroken in the sense that I said that. And as it was flying through my mouth, I knew I was fucked. But I couldn't have enough courage to kind of take that back and say, oh no, I definitely like you. I couldn't say that because I was nervous and I was shy. So I didn't know what to really say or think. So as I said that, and as she gave me the hug, I knew right then and there that my crush and any hopes of being with her were gone. And I was basically kind of sad when I came to my friend's house and I told him what the fuck just happened, who was also kind of friends with her as well, and he kind of knows her in a sense. So he felt like, oh man, you kind of like messed up with her. And I told him that I know I messed up. Now I guess that moment's gone. So at that point, I wanted to give up on that, but I think later on in the years, before graduating from my junior high school, I kept on going and try to get with her, and I'll tell you guys more stories about that one. But right now, I think that'll be more than sufficient to give you the backstory of how this all transpired. So there you go, guys. I hope you like that kind of story. I hope that is going to keep you interested in hearing more about what the fuck I did in order to try to get with this girl. There's more crazy shit that I done, try to get with her, but I will save that for much later within the ongoing year. But anyway, guys, I'm going to catch you guys later. Enjoy your day / evening, whenever you are watching this. And before I actually go, this is, of course, a Battlefield 3 gameplay commentary thingamabobber in which we've won. We've won this mofo. God, I almost forgot to tell you guys that too, and I was going to be fucking pissed because I can't have a cookie if I didn't say that. So there you go. I'm going to have a fucking cookie right now, and I'm going to see you guys later. Enjoy your day / evening, whenever you are watching this. This is Second Blank, saying peace out. Later, Gators.